Hello and welcome to Short Story Scene. I'm your host, the storyteller, and here we have a tale called Inferno by Dante Alighieri. Canto 27. Already was the flame erect and quiet, to speak no more, and now departed from us, with the permission of the gentle poet, when yet another, which behind it came, caused us to turn our eyes upon its top, by the confused sound that issued from it, by the Sicilian bull and the bellowed verse with the lament of him that was right, who with the file had modulated it, bellowed so that with the voice of the afflicted, that notwithstanding it was made of brass, still it appeared with agony and transfixed. Thus by not having any other or issue, and first from out the fire to its own language, converted were the melancholy words, but afterwards, when they had gathered away, up through the point giving to the vibration, the tongue had given them to their passage out, and heard it said, O thou, at whom I aim my voice, and who but now was speak Lambord, saying, Now go thy way, no more I urge thee, because I come perchance a little late, to say and speak with me, let it nor irk thee. Thou seest the irks not me, and I am burning. If thou but lately into the blind world hast fallen down from the sweet Latin land, wherefrom I bring the whole of my transgression, say if the Romagles in the peace or war, for I was from the mountains there between, Urbino and the yoke whence timber bursts. I still was downward bent and listening, when my conductor touched me on the side, saying, Speak thou this one of Latin is. And I was that beforehand by replying, in readiness forthwith began to speak. O soul that down below there art concealed, Romagna thine is not, never has been, without war in the bosom of its tyrants, but open war I none have let there now. Ravenna stands as if the long years has stood, the eagle opulenta there is brooding, so that she covers Curvia in her veins. And the city which once made that their long resistance, and of the French of singularly heap, and beneath the green paws find itself again. Vericio's ancient mastiff and the new, who made such bad disposal of Montagana, and where they won't make wimbles of their teeth, in the cities of Lamoni and Saint Tierno, governs the lineal of the white lair, who changes size twixt summertime and winter, and that of which the Savio bathes the flank, and even as it lies between the plain and the mountain, lives between tyranny and free state. Now I entreat thee, tell us who that art, but not more stubborn than the rest have been. So may thy name hold front there in the world. After a fire, a little more had roared in its own fashion, at a sharp point it moved, this way and that, and then gave forth such breath. If I believed that my reply were made to one who to the world would ever turn, this flame without more flickering would stand still, and in a mess much, and never from this depth did anyone return. If I hear true without the fear of infamy, I answer, I was a man of arms, then Cordelier, believing that thus be great the make amends, and truly my belief had been fulfilled. But for the high priest, whom may ill betide, put me back in my former sins, and how the furthermore I will have thee here. Will I still the form of bone and pulp? My mother gave to me the deeds I did were not those of the lion but a fox. The machinations and the covert ways, and knew them all in the practice so their craft, that the ends of the earth the sound went forth, When now unto the portion of mine age I saw myself arrived, when each one ought to lower the sails and coil away the ropes. That which before had pleased me would have displeased me, and the penitent and confessing I surrendered. And woe was me, and it would have bestead me. The leader of the modern Pharisees, having the war near unto they ran, and not that the Saracens, not with the Jews. For each one of his enemies was Christian, and none of them had been to conquer Acre, nor merchandising in the Sultan's land, nor the high office, nor the sacred orders in him regarded, nor to me the cord, which used to make this grit with it more meager. But even the Constantine sought out Sylvester and to cure his leprosy in Socrates. So this one sought me out as an adept. To cure him of the fever of his pride and counsel him asked of me that I was silent, because his words appeared inebriated. And then he said, Be not that thy heart afraid. Henceforth I thee absolve, and then thou instruct me how to raise Palestrina to the ground. Heaven have I power to lock and unlock, and thou dost know. Therefore the keys are two, and whence my predecessor held not dear. Then urged me on my weighty arguments there, where my silence was the worst advice, and said I, Father, since thou washest me of the sins unto which I now must fall, the promise long with the fulfillment short will make thee triumph in the lofty seat. Francis came afterward when I was dead for me, but one of the black cherubim said to him, Take him not, do me no wrong. He must come down among my servitors, and because he gave the fraudulent advice, from which time forth I have been at his hair. For who repents not cannot be absolved, nor can one both repent and will be at once, because of the contradiction which consents not. O miserable me, how I did shudder when I seized on me, saying, Peradventure, and thou dost not think that I was logician. But it bore me on to Minos, who entwined 8 times his tail about his stubborn back, and after he had bitten it in the great rage, said of the thievish fire a culprit this, wherefore here where thou seest am I lost. Invested thus in going I bemoan me. When it had thus completed its recital, the flame departed, uttering lamentations, withering and flapping its sharp-pointed horn. Onward we passed, both I and my conductor, up over the crag, above another arch, which the moat covered, where is paid the fee, by those whose sowing discord won their burden. And that concludes our tale of Inferno by Dante Alighieri, Canto 27. If you like this content and would like to support it, please head on over to Patreon. That is www.patreon.com/shortstoryscene. I'd like to thank Drac for being a patron, and thank you all for listening, and see you next episode. Bye!